Is she dating? Is she not dating? Is she ready to date? Is she not ready to date? And how long should a divorced woman or man wait before they start dating? Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another video, and thank you so much for taking your time to watch this. So a few weeks ago, Simply Nikki made a video talking about dating with Paula, I believe her name is. I think it's her sister. And it was a really good watch, and it really prompted a conversation that I really wanted to have with you guys about dating, because there was a few things that she said that I was like, okay, you know what, this is getting the conversation rolling. And you know, in a generation of dating, there's a lot of conversation surrounding dating, there's a lot of conversation surrounding divorce, a lot of conversation surrounding women and male, and just the perspective on both sides. So yeah, I thought it was really interesting, so we're going to talk about that. So definitely stay tuned guys, like, comment and subscribe. There's a few points, like I said, that she kind of brought up. She does this balcony chat, and it was Paula, I believe that's her sister, she had a conversation with. And there was a few things that Paula said, which is really what I wanted to ask you guys and talk about. But I don't know if you guys watched it. We obviously all know that Nikki is a divorced woman now. She's co-parenting with Jamie. From the outside perspective, co-parenting it's never really like an easy thing. I think it's something that, you know, it's a working thing. You know, you won't get it perfect straight away, but they have gotten to a point where I think they have gotten into a routine and it's working for both of them. Jamie spoke a little bit about that on his side, and we've seen a little bit about that from her side. But now, is she dating? Is she not dating? Is she ready to date? Is she not ready to date? And how long should a divorced woman or man wait before they start dating? That's the first question that I want to ask you guys. Obviously it's subjective to the person, to the individual. You know, a lot of people I know that get divorced, the divorce doesn't happen when the papers are signed or when, you know, it's a done deal. The divorce actually happens when the heart gets detached, and that could have been months or even years prior to actually submitting divorce papers. And that's how crazy it is. It's crazy how people can be just detached and single in their heart, but obviously taken or married on paper. So that's an interesting question. If you have been in a position where you are a divorcee, or if you have been divorced, what your take is on that. She was asking Paula, you know, whether she thinks she's ready, and Paula was obviously like, you know what, I think you are ready, and definitely in a much better place than you were before. And then we're talking about, like, you know, different types of men in terms of your preference, in terms of type. And one thing Paula did say was that sometimes she was like, you know what, it's not good to have a type. And from my interpretation, it's not good to have a type because it just simply limits you. Like, a lot of women, they're like, oh, if he's not tall enough, or if he doesn't work that specific job, or, you know, then I can't date him. And it's unfortunate because a lot of women could potentially miss out on really good husbands because that person is not their type. So what do you think that you shouldn't focus on your type? Like, you should just go with the heart. Obviously we should all just go with the heart because the heart is what matters the most. But when she said that, I was like, sis, I hear you, but I don't think it's easy as it sounds. Like, it's easy as you make it sound, you know, like, don't have a type, don't go for your type. Because most of the time, do you know what, most of the time your type is always the guy that just never lasts. It's always the guy that just, you know, hurts you or screws you over, or but we always end up going for that type. And it's like, babe, like, that type is not working for you, try something else. So from that perspective, I get it. But do you know what, I think it's easier said than done. Like, don't go for your type, do you get what I mean? It's like, okay, but about it. It's my preference, it's what I like. And another thing that Nikki said that grabbed a lot of people's attention was, she said, we're tired of getting people that needs fixing, or something along those lines. And obviously that grabbed the attention of a lot of people, because they kind of, you know, she's somebody that's been married for years, so whenever you talk about relationship or past experiences, it's always from your personal experience, right? And obviously people are going to associate a lot of her statements from her past relationship with Jamie, and so it kind of insinuated that, you know, he was maybe in a position where she felt like she had to fix him, you know, where she felt like, and what does that mean, like you have to fix somebody? Like a lot of the time people come into relationships partly broken, they never barely come into relationship whole, and they're always looking for somebody to fill that void. And that's so dangerous, because it's like you will literally put heavy expectations on that individual, on your spouse, to make you happy, and place that responsibility on them, but that's not their responsibility. And it might be one of the causes of, you know, breakups and divorces, because people don't like pressure. People don't like to feel like, you know what, like this is a job, like I can't be in this relationship trying to make you happy, and you know, people feeling like, and even my effort does not even feel like it's good enough. So that was an interesting statement that she made. I think it's definitely important, if you are going to go into a relationship, to make sure that you're not going in there carrying your broken pieces, like, help me, you know, help me place these together, because inevitably what that's just going to do is just push that person away. And yeah, it's so crazy. But it was a very interesting video. She did clarify in the end that she's not dating, but when she will be ready to date, you know, that she will be open. One thing that I loved about what Paula was saying was that she took time to heal and get to know herself, to the point where, you know, sometimes when people are like, oh, I know you better than you know yourself, or I know you like the back of your hand, or whatever. And she was basically saying, like, do you know what, I know myself so much, like nobody can even come to me and tell me that I know you more than you know yourself. And that's actually a really good point, because when I was thinking about it, I was like, do you know what, for somebody to feel like, to say confidently like they know you more than you know yourself, it's kind of like, that's true. Like, you need to be at a place where you know yourself, like in and out. Do you get what I mean? Like, nobody can come and dictate you, because they don't know you like that. Like, you know you like that. And what was interesting as well is she was saying that the funny thing is, which is not funny, and it happens to all of us, when you are in that place of healing, it's like you literally have single written on your forehead. Like, has that ever happened to anybody? When you are healing, you don't want a man, you don't want a woman. I don't know what it's like for men, but for women, most of the time, and it's almost like you have single written across your forehead. Men literally come fluctuating in, and you're thinking, I don't want this, I don't want this. And I swear it's like the devil literally unleashes men. And sometimes they're not even bad looking, you know. Sometimes they're the ones that is like, that is my type. But this is where you need self-discipline, like the level of discipline where you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna put myself in that position because it's not worth it. Number one, I'm not ready. Number two, it's not going to go anywhere. Number three, like, there's no point on me engaging in something that I know I'm only going to be hurting myself and that person. And I think that takes a lot of maturity and a lot of self-discipline. So she was like, you know, she met the perfect guy. He was Christian, he was tall, he was big, he was basically everything. But she just knew she wasn't ready. And now that she is ready to date, there's no men around. How crazy is it that when we are ready to date, like when we are ready to be out there now, we're ready, we know who we are, we know how to handle situations, there's no men around. But it was a really good video, and it prompted a lot of good conversation, so I hope that we can kind of feedback off of each other. Let me know what your thoughts are in terms of dating from a male's perspective and a woman's perspective. I was thinking when she put out that video, I was thinking, oh, I wonder what people are going to be saying, because you know, you lot can be very judgmental, but you know what, they're divorced and she's a woman who has needs, who also has dreams of, which sounds really weird because she was married and she does have kids, but I feel like it's built in us as women to always desire love and to always want that safety and security that a man can provide for us. And of course, yes, we can provide for ourselves, but that's not the message for today. But you know, it's okay, like, and if she feels like she's ready to date, then it's okay. I kind of felt a little bit nervous for her, like, I don't know why, because it's like, oh my gosh, it's just that. And what was interesting was that when she was talking, I can almost feel how nervous she was. Like, I can almost feel her, like, you know, we girls do this all the time, like when you've been in a little cocoon for some time, you've been in your little cave, and then you finally want to come out and you feel like you are literally like a fish out of water in the dating world. You don't know where to start, you don't know how people do it, you don't even know how to even start conversation, like how do you even do this and this and that. You have 1,000 questions bombarding your mind, and then, do you know what, fear ends up gripping you and you're like, do you know what, I'm good, I'm actually good. I don't need to date. Like, it's okay. But at the end of the day, your man is not gonna find you in your room, is he? He ain't gonna find you in your room, sitting in your house in front of your TV, or sitting on your bed and eating yourself away. So you need to go out there, and it's okay. And I think one thing that I love is one thing that Grace Ajilore, I don't know if you guys follow her, she's another YouTuber, she said was, you know what, just date. Like, I feel like people take dating so seriously these days, but you can just date, have fun, get to know people, go out for meals, go out for dinner, enjoy yourself. Like, it really doesn't have to be serious. Like, we really don't have to put such emphasis on dating, which kind of took my mind time to get my head around it, because for me, I feel like, well, why would I be wasting my time just dating when I know what I want? But it's like, yeah, I don't know, what do you guys think? Obviously you date with an intention, but I don't know, maybe we'll talk about that in another time, specifically steps of dating, because yeah, that's an interesting topic. But yeah guys, let me know what your thoughts are anyway in the comment section, and thank you so much for taking your time to watch this, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care, bye bye.